I really don't like talking to groups, getting up in front of groups and telling my story, because I just don't think it's all that unique. I mean, everybody's story is equally unique.
I always loved working in restaurants. I love the pace, I love the noises, I love the people, I love the food. The day I turned 16, I got a job at McDonald's. It was important to me to start working and making money. I wanted to buy my own car. About a year later, this Italian couple opened an Italian restaurant across the street. And so I was spinning big pizzas and enjoying that. Later on, I came to college and decided that college wasn't for me. So in my 20s, I did a lot of traveling. I traveled around the country, and then I ended up going to Europe and Asia as well. Later, when I went to open a restaurant, it was just that all that traveling had taught me that I can do anything I want to do. I can travel all over the world. I can certainly open a little dive of a pizza joint. I found a couple places. I found a place downtown, and it was a little window, and I could sell pizza out of the window. And then I found this place I'm at now, and it was a big place, but it was real run down. It was out in the middle of nowhere, and they were both about the same price. The guy wanted $15,000. I said, will you take 10? And he said, all right, I'll take 10 in cash. So we went to the bank. I said, I need $30,000. And they said, well, we'll loan you 25. I was like, I really need 30. But they're like, well, you're going into a restaurant. That's like super risky. Like, you know, there's a good chance. And I'm like, just give me 30,000, you know, like it's not that much, and I'll figure it out. And so they called and they said, all right, we'll give you 30,000. And so I'm sitting there in the restaurant. I'd given the guy 10,000, he had left, and I just started to cry. I was just like, what have I done? Like, I've taken on this place and it's a nightmare. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just spent the next, every waking hour, 16, 18 hours a day, just cleaning and painting and trying to get the place ready, because I was running out of money. I spent about $10,000 in equipment and $10,000 on food and smallwares and stuff. So when I finally got it, it was like a week or two later that I was ready. I was like, it's not perfect, but my equipment's here and I'm ready to go. And I had like $1,000 left. Me and my wife had done a little math and figured out we needed about $300 a day to make ends meet. We opened on Friday. It was just when we were ready. A few tables came in, and then at night I stayed there, and there was no business. People were like, you can't make it over here at night. There's just nothing going on over here. And we had 2 tables that first night, and I took their order, made their salad, made their pizza, rang them up, cleaned up, went home. At the end of the day, we had $196 in the register, and I thought, well, if we did 200 and our goal's 300, we're not that far off. The place was not super clean or perfect in the beginning. There were a lot of problems, but it was more about the food is what we built our reputation on. People came and they said, wow, this salad is great, this pizza is great, and they told their friends. So we built everything from the quality of the food.
I can keep myself amused.
I gotta find the tallest one, and that's how I know where to put this up.
So a lot of restaurants might have a goal of like a 25% labor or 20% labor. Our labor cost is 50%. 50 cents of every dollar spent just goes back to the employees. But what's important for me is to have employees that are happy and feel respected.
We just keep getting busier, and every time we hire somebody else or put somebody else in the pot gets bigger. We're up to like $2.5 million a year, in sales. And that's like crazy. We're only open 5 days a week.
I just don't see this as anything earth-shattering. It just is everyday, treat others as you would be treated sort of stuff. I just make decisions that seem like common sense decisions and common sense solutions, to pay people fairly and treat people right, to give money to charity through an ATM instead of giving it to Visa, MasterCard, to make our own soda with real sugar and fresh ingredients instead of buying aspartame and high fructose corn syrup. Any problem that I look at or any action that I take, I just try to look at it as simply and logically and clearly as possible and decide what makes the most sense and go after it, you know? So all that stuff just seems like common sense to me.
I had been inspired as a kid by Howard Finster, who's a folk artist. He did an REM cover, and he had this Paradise Garden that he made in Georgia, and junk everywhere he collected. And I'd been there 4 times in my teenage years, and so I always loved this idea of collecting junk and trying to make it into something. A lot of people will ask me why I don't franchise, why I don't open more. I've got the formula, and they just can't understand. In business school they learn, you've got the formula, now replicate the formula. I think when people come out here, they see like that these plants are something that people are taking care of, that this art is something that people are putting on the wall. You just can't cookie cutter create this over and over and over. My drive and ambition is to try to make this place like, you know, the 8th wonder of the world, and not to try to be a millionaire and have a, you know, a big franchise of restaurants. I think it's hard to reproduce what we've done here, and we can reproduce the pizza, but we can't reproduce the atmosphere. And so I don't see any reason to try to do that. I was in the greenhouse talking to somebody, and they came back and they said, "There's smoke, there's smoke." I said, "Go call 911 and get everybody out." And then I went up there, and there's all this smoke, and I got a hose, and I started, you know, spraying the damn hose on the place, like, what the hell, you know? So it was heartbreaking. I had been there since 2003, so this is 9 years later, you know, almost to the day, and I'd put in so much effort, and here the place is on fire. And stuff that happens in your life that hits you, it's emotional, and you need to work through that stuff. You go up there, you look at the place, it's burnt out. You've got to get all the shit out of there. You've got to start over. You know in your mind what's ahead, and you've just got to get up there and start, and get up there and work, and just make it happen. You can't let it paralyze you. And we have to deal with stuff like that in life, and you just learn lessons from it. For me, I don't learn like buy better insurance or anything, which is probably what I should learn. But I learned, you know, save a little more money for a rainy day, or a flaming day as it is.
I don't ever feel like I go to work, but I also work all the time. But I'm just doing what I love. That's the bottom line. I'm trying to make a life for myself that I love. Running a restaurant isn't easy, and it has a lot of moving parts. I don't always want to go glue trophies up to the wall, but I make myself go, and I end up having fun. And I don't always want to be in the studio for so many hours doing stained glass, but I keep pushing through, and I get to a place where I'm enjoying it more. And if my skill set is making art and making pizza and interacting with people, I just want to take those skills that I have and make them work in a way that allows me to enjoy my life and my work as just the same thing, as one thing. I want my art to be a living, breathing performance piece where people come in, they listen to music, they eat food, they have a good time. You know, I want to create a world that people immerse themselves into and hope that somehow they get a taste of my joy and my excitement, my passion for just being an artist mostly.
There could be business schools or business people or consultants that come look at my books and what I'm doing and think you are out of your ever-loving mind. Like, I'm doing what works for me. It's my business. I love making pizza. I love the product. I love watching it bake and pop up, taking it out and it's all crispy, and you cut it and you butter, it's beautiful, and you take it to the table and the people are like, yes. That is such a rewarding thing, the whole process. Part of my mission is to always try to transfer this excitement to the people that work for me. If you get good at what you do, it doesn't matter what you do. If you enjoy it, you make it look easy, you enjoy yourself. So I think that the point in life is to, whatever you do, enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, figure out what else to do and do something different.